So what's the worst part about attending an HBCU?
Purged. Yeah. The first started off as getting purged out of classes. You see how quick I said it? It's because I was like having to redo your whole schedule. And I don't know if every HBCU is like that, but at TSU we had a real
very strict.
I was gonna name my son Versart after the realest thing I ever knew, which is the Versart. If you late with those payments, shout it.
Oh, you're just out.
Well, no, they give away your classes, and so then you gotta go and you have to talk to the professors. You gotta get them to raise the ceiling, which is really a exercise in, I guess, stick-to-itiveness, right? So everything you go through prepares you for something else, right? So if you go into your job and the deadline just changed from next week to today, what are you really gonna do? So we've been doing this since we were 18.
Okay. So the best part about going to HBCU?
Family. Yeah, it's those people become your family. They are your family, right? You accomplish with them, you wake up with them, you cry with them, you hurt with them. 4 years if you get out, or 4 years, 6 years if you take the scenic route.
Yeah. You're really enjoying your time.
You're just trying to soak up life. But that is, I think that's the biggest thing for HBCU.
And it stays forever.
Yeah, obviously. And then look at the connection, right? Like you tell somebody you're from a school, it creates competition right then. You got stories right then, but it all meshes together.
Hello, I am Lauren, back with Speak Up Law as your host. If you do not know, entrepreneurship is, I would say, in my blood, and I love it. And I had to bring in first Jason, who truly has entrepreneurship in his blood, and a fellow HBCU alum at that. So can you introduce yourself? Tell the people who you are.
Sure. My name is Jason Ridgel. I am from Alabama. I went to the Tennessee State University, and I think they call me a serial entrepreneur. Does that mean like I can't stop being an entrepreneur?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm an entrepreneur-aholic.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So when did that all start?
When I was a kid, actually. I think I used to sell Rice Krispie treats at school, in high school. Used to sell candy in high school, and that carried in college. We were some of the only people that had cars, so we would go to Walmart. We would make Walmart runs.
Oh yeah, those are very important.
You know what I mean? And just put our little tax on it. So I guess we've been in business for a long time.
Wow. So what got you to TSU?
Man, that's a very good question. So, roundabout is electrical engineering. I mean, to Tennessee State. I was an engineering major. I was actually going to Alabama first, but and UAB too. Like we got accepted into a few schools, but we did a summer program called Minority Introduction to Engineering. Mike, it was my program. I was 15. I had never been to HBCU.
Wow.
A friend of mine, he was like second generation TSU. He was like, you gotta come to this program. Came to Tennessee, came to Nashville, came to their campus, changed my life. Wow. And I was hooked on it. So it was my first time ever seeing HBCU and actually being on the campus and just watching. You look at from the teachers to everything. I'm like, wow, this is amazing stuff.
It almost started you off at first. Like, is this real?
Yeah, for sure. And then we were a little grown up walking around. So you got that first taste of what it was like to be away from home and to kind of be on your own. Fell in love with it.
What would you classify as your best experience with attending TSU?
Best experience? You mean after that? Right. That's what my mama would say. Anything besides that is, I would say my best experience was my freshman the guys I met in my freshman year, I triple P. Today we have a nonprofit called Individuals Providing a Positive Presence, which we named after our crew in freshman year. But those guys is probably like over 80 of us.
Really?
And we're still all friends to this day.
Wow.
And I've never had that many, you know, a brother or friends like, you know, like that. Especially from just meeting people.
Yeah.
Banding together.
Yeah. So after TSU, let's talk about that.
Life after TSU.
Yeah. So what was your first business after graduating?
My first business was a cleaning company, actually. When I graduated, I went to work for one of the top accounting firms in town. I thought I wanted to be Mr. Corporate Man. It was there that I learned it wasn't for me. I'm thankful for the opportunity because actually the lady who gave me the job there was a TSU grad.
Wow.
And she had been working there for almost 40 years.
Wow.
I mean, her name is Ms. Julia Rayford. She knew the whole company inside of her head. She's one of the most valuable people there and probably the most underrated, right? But she was the one who got me the opportunity. I was like, hey, you need to be here. You need to learn this stuff. You need to learn how to move in corporate, right? And I'm so thankful for that because even in entrepreneurship, like when you get in entrepreneurship, a lot of times it's by yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm a solo entrepreneur, yeah.
Right, so you spend a lot of time, and then when you try to dive from that back into corporate, you haven't had that experience at all. So, shout out to her for sure. But learned that I didn't want, that corporate wasn't for me. I ended up as a probation officer for the state of Tennessee, I think 23 years old.
Wow.
And I was one of the youngest probation officers in the state. 70% of my caseload was older than me.
Wow.
And I had 150 people, like day one, because the lady who trained me quit. That day.
Oh my God.
She trained me that day and quit, so I didn't get her caseload. But it was during that time that I started a cleaning company. And what I was able to do is offer jobs to people on my caseload that needed work. So, saw a need, fill a need, generate revenue.
That, I mean, I always wonder from like the mental aspect of seeing, this is making an assumption, that you were seeing a lot of our people.
Oh, yeah.
And how is that, you know, your trekking path and kind of seeing, you know, the difference that you're making those and providing jobs where it's not easy.
No. It came from a need because at the time, you have to have a job on your own on probation. You have to pay fees and stuff. So we had a resource that we would say, okay, hey, call these people, they're hiring, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, you're like that one pager?
That one pager.
Yeah.
So many people were coming back and saying like, hey, these folks aren't hiring, this, and this. One day, I just called everything on that list and acted like I had just got out. Crazy. Lots of the numbers were disconnected. Somebody offered me $4.50 to work per hour, take it or leave it. It broke my heart. Because I'm like, this is how people are being treated. We've said we have a resource for them, but it's really not a resource. And then they're penalized if they don't have it. So when the opportunity came to start that cleaning company, it was a no-brainer.
So how was that being so young, entrepreneur?
Cleaning toilets. I don't know. It was exhausting. It was exhausting. It's exactly what it sounds. I think people can get excited about the word entrepreneur and they think it looks like this. Listen, 2 o'clock in the morning, cleaning toilets, out in Hendersonville for a year.
Wow.
That's what it looked like. But I wouldn't trade it. You know, I bought a Jana King franchise, so being a franchisee, they had a lot of support. I was able to learn how to write deals, learn how to market, And then also that was my first touch at managing a crew. Right? So that's when you start learning about human resources.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting that all at 23 was really good.
That's really like fire hose for real. So after Janet what was next? So you have like the most interesting.
We talking about the journey.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had always wanted to do massage therapy. Okay, because I thought when you come to school, all the people who have a hustle are able to make money in college because you have such a big group of people that are away from all their natural, their hair people, their barber, you know what I'm saying, the nail, whatever you know how to do, people are gonna pay you to be able to do that in school. So I'm like, man, well, I already know a bunch of barbers. I actually tried to learn how to do nails before I came to school. Right? I tried. It wasn't. I did my best. But yeah, it didn't come out too good. So I tried to learn how to do hair, like women's hair. One of my homeboys is a hairdresser, like second generation. And man, he was trying to teach me how to. I couldn't get them parts down. Like the way y'all do that and lay that cream, man. It's a science to that, and I couldn't burn nobody's scalp out. So I'm like, okay, massage therapy. I want to learn to do massage therapy. And I came to my mom and I'm like, hey, I want to learn how to do massage before I go to college. You know what I'm saying? Because I was going to take that program 6 months, 7 months before I went to school, learn it. So when I got to school, I have a hustle, right? It makes sense, right? Mom was like, nah, son. You gonna go get your degree. And then, so I had the cleaning company. It was going good. But that thing that I wanted to do is still there. You know, when something keeps coming at you, keeps nudging you. I was like, all right. So I started looking at massage schools. Basically, I typed in best massage school in the country. And there's two. One was in California. It was in Santa Monica. So I called them. I went and interviewed. I had to interview 2 times. So this was one of those schools, like you had to interview to get in. It was a rigorous process. And I got accepted. And then I didn't leave. And that was crazy, right? I still had this business. And a lot of times you can get ahead of yourself, right? Like, I believe I can. I want to do it. You get it, and then it's like, okay, here, and you're like, oh, I gotta move. I don't know nobody in California. Like, what I'm gonna do for money? Like all that stuff. So I ended up talking to my mom. You don't hear my mom circulate through all of this because that's my goal. That's my go-to, and it's always important to have somebody that is your go-to. So I call her my vision holder because even when I get a little shaky, she'll be like, nope, this is what God said, this is what he told you. So moms are the best. But she told me, she was like, do it. She said, you can always come back home. You always come back. Now that's not everybody's situation, but I think for most of us, you can always go backwards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So why be scared of going forward? So
that's a good one.
it still took me another month. I'm here to give you the facts. I got a speech, resonated, felt it in my soul. Like, okay. So I decided to sell my cleaning company, and that was going to take care of me while I was out there for the first year of school. And one day I packed up my truck and I started driving for California. And that was to become the adventure that brought me all the way to where we are now.
Really?
Yeah, because I went to massage school. I finished in 6 months. It was a year program, but I would go in the morning and at night, and then do practicum during the day. Because I was trying to get somewhere, right? That's another thing. Like when you're trying to really get somewhere, like we do the work.
Yeah.
Gotta do the work.
Yeah.
Gotta do the work. So did that. Graduated in 6 months, just to find out nobody was hired. Like, at that point, because massage by guys,
Mm-hmm.
at that point was still like a taboo thing. It wasn't really popular like it is now.
Uh-huh.
So I went and did massage after massage from location, 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 location.
Mm-hmm.
They all said the same thing. They were like, "Oh my God, we love your touch.
Mm-hmm.
Love your touch.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't have any positions open."
Mm-hmm.
Could you have told me that
Before
this hour massage? I guess they just wanted to know. But
Mm-hmm.
so what I ended up doing, that became my second company. I opened my second company. And I called it Touch as a joke to people who love my touch but couldn't provide me no job. And I went back and I hired the students that I went to school with,
Wow.
and we started doing massage all over the city.
Mm.
But we did. That's where that corporate thing came in, because in school they give you a free table.
Mm.
You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
well, it's not free as you pay for, but they give you a table with your curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
I asked for a chair instead of a table, and I started doing chair massage on the weekend to make money, because you could set up at grocery stores, you could set up anywhere and do chair massage.
Yeah.
So I went back and hired the kids I went to school with, and that big Touch Mobile Massage Company
Wow.
became my second one.
Wow. I mean, so that experience to where we are now.
Yeah, yeah.
Woo!
I'm fine. Keep the story going.
But,
So
so this is, I haven't talked to you about this before, but I'd love for you to touch on it, is capital. Because, you know, being an entrepreneur takes a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not as just simple as, I mean, yes, you have your idea and you want to, you know, execute it, but an entrepreneur is very expensive.
Yeah.
Or entrepreneurship, I would say.
It's very expensive. And you learn along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I became an entrepreneur in the time where mostly everything was self-funded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you took money from one thing and you put it into another, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I came also from the time when most entrepreneurs still had day jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's only in recent years that the day job has become like this term of I'm like, no, bro, that's your insurance. That's everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what it is? Your work. If you're an entrepreneur, your job, your workplace becomes your TSU, because you're never around that many people in one space every day, every week, at all. So if you have a product or something, and you work at a company with 500 people, you got your first 500 customers right there. If you working from your house, you got to walk them down the street to get your 500 customers. You see what I'm saying? It's a different thing. So that's always going to be having some type of support system from the beginning. So for me, what I did is each business self-funded the next. So if you look at probation, the money I made from probation, I used to buy my Danny King franchise. You know what I'm saying? Then I sold the Danny King franchise to get the money from massage. Everything trickles. Now, there's so many more lending options for small businesses, right? So, you can get money all kinds of ways. You can get money for equity. You can get money just for return on investment. That wasn't, when I started there, there wasn't a lot of that going around. So, I worked everything. Even for the next company, I worked in massage to build up my money to start the next one.
Wow. So I missed one in there, I know. We were the exotic car company.
We missed like 3 or 4.
How many businesses have you had or have in your portfolio?
I think I had total maybe 12. Okay, but now it's 4. And what you'll learn too, as at one point in time, having all them businesses is cool. When you get older, you're like, I just want to do one thing or 2 things, right? And so Yeah, there was one time we were starting companies, starting them here, there, because that was the thing. Oh, I got 10 businesses.
Oh, yeah.
I got these. Basically, you don't have any free time. What you have. You don't have a life.
Yeah.
And you have to pay taxes on all of. We skipped that.
Yeah.
You don't know you have to file taxes. Every one of those businesses.
I'm struggling with the two I have.
You did. Every year. So, business after that was, I went into, that was the one that, massage therapy took me into working with athletes, took me into working with chiropractors, and then working with chiropractors, I got into medical equipment. Okay, and that was, I think it was probably one of the most successful businesses. And at the time it was pain management equipment. So we prescribed devices that help people not use pills. So you use for pain, right?
Yeah.
So at that time, the epidemic of pills everywhere was growing. In the South, people still wanted their pills. And in LA, in California, people were starting to move towards alternative medicine. So that was the thing that grew really, really fast, really, really quickly. And we were able to touch all 50 states. And that gave me the chance to become the marketing director for some different healthcare facilities that we partnered with. Keep that in your head because that's how we ended up at the liquor. That's one of the ways that we ended up at the liquor was doing all of those events and paying thousands of dollars for the liquor budget and realizing that 60% of the stuff is nasty. You know what I mean? We've all done those parties and it's like, what is this? Blue River Creek. But they're like, it's $80 a shot. And then you stand there, you tasting it, and you're like,
You make the face.
you're like, oh yeah, this is great. Yeah, man, I'm gonna give me a bottle. Right? But you can start, like, corporate brings that out of you sometimes, right? Like their whole, so, yeah, so where we at? We did massage, it took us to chiropractic,
marketing director,
and then owner of my own durable medical equipment company. So we did a few of those, and then I was moving. Now my kids are here in Nashville, so I was living in LA at the time, so I was flying back and forth. And so as I got older, I was like, man, I just want to be in one spot. I want to be in the spot with them. LA is a hustle. I call it LA Incorporated, like LA Inc. Everybody there is like, they're trying to get it.
Yeah.
They're trying to get it. There's a few beach people that are kind of groovy and chill, but they passionate about the ocean. They passionate about something. But yeah, decided to move back to Nashville. I wanted to be. We had done pretty well, and I was like, I want this time to be with them. At that time, I had started renting exotic cars. Okay. Renting. Not buying.
Okay.
Renting. And I was coming to Nashville to scope it out because I had been gone for almost 10 years. But I heard the city was growing and stuff. And so when you come back, I wanted to figure out where I wanted to move to and just soak up and see what's going on in Nashville. Because even when I was coming back here, I was just visiting my kids and whatever. So I came in and I was going to stay downtown for a month. Rent a place downtown. So what am I going to drive? So what am I going to drive in Nashville? So I end up, at that time I had an assistant that had called around and found the only exotic car rental company in the city at the time. And all they had was a Rolls Royce Ghost. So for the night. And I said, thank you, but no thank you. We can do some Maserati and all that stuff, but I'm good. I hung up the phone, and as soon as I did, I heard something say, why not you? You know, like, really, why not why not? And I didn't have an answer. So I called back and said, hey, get that Rolls Royce.
Wow.
So I flew into Nashville, and at that time, the owner of the company is the one who actually picked me up. So imagine you've been on the flight, we've been talking all the time, and then we get to the curb, and I'm like, all right then, and you look up, it's a Rolls Royce double parked with a dude wiping it down right there, baggage claim. Everybody on my plane was looking at me like, what you say? The price of the Jason Jessamine. The price just went up. And that's when, you got to start acting funny. No, I was playing. But I in some of these experiences, I got educated on it because I didn't, when we got in the car, it took me to the place I was staying. But then he did a tutorial. I'm like, bro, I'm just going to tell you straight up. I don't know how to drive. And he showed me the features. We went around the block, and it was cool. Wow. As soon as he left, you know what I did? I called everybody in Nashville. Yeah, we did a photo shoot.
I love it.
We did a full photo shoot. Like, everybody taking pictures and stuff. So that's the company. I ended up buying that company from them. After, about a year later. And they reached out and said they were taking on the partners, and I ended up buying it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting.
Yeah, we did a lot, but the thing for that, it was so cool, is because just that exposure to minorities, people of color that never got a chance to think that they could see that type of stuff. We had people in there all the time, like kids that could come to the showroom. We did driving experiences. It just opened up the brain again. And hey, this is something this is a place where we can play.
Believe what you can see.
Yeah, exactly.
So, can we talk about
Talk about guidance. Talk about guidance. Yeah. This is Guidance Small Batch with Small Enterprise Whiskey. Yeah. So you just follow one of our first rules, because I usually don't talk about it until we drink it. That's one of my pitches. That when people are asking all the questions, you show up to a tasting and say, look, I answer any questions you got after we drink it. And that usually answers most of the questions for them. They taste what it is. Like this. But yeah, this is our brainchild. It goes back to when we were talking about director of the healthcare facility and filling that gap and that void for a product that was good, that we can enjoy that at a great price point. That is the answer that I'm going to give Oprah as well. So that's why I said that. But the real reason I really just wanted to try something. It's important that you know that. Most of the stuff, we just be trying stuff. I thought it would be cool, and I wanted to be the first black man. Really, I was going to do a sake first. I don't know if you heard that part yet. I was going to do a sake first. I was going to be the first black man with sake.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
We were drinking sake every bunch, and I just didn't. One time I could drink every day. So when I decided to move back to Tennessee, they were trying to change the laws. Jack Daniels was lobbying to change the laws on what makes a Tennessee whiskey. And just from the straight business perspective, I knew that anything that they're trying to change the law about is big. So we started trying to find contract distillers to work with us.
So from a black business perspective, there's not a lot of black business owners in this realm at all.
Yeah, so compared to the industry as a whole, there's definitely not. But compared to when I started 4 years ago, my process, and now there's over 100 black-owned brands, 100 black-owned spirit brands total. A good resource for that. There's a she does a thing. What's her name? I gotta have it because I know that she has to. She's so important. This is Will Drink for Travel. Will Drink for Travel. Ashley Touch.
Yes.
She is. Her work on this has been amazing, and so.
And I just want to go back to that. 100 brands.
Over 100.
Over 100 brands.
Over 100. And so that's why what you're doing is important because even just in this segment, you're shining light. And when they find me, they're going to find these others too because we got shining light on them.
Wow. So how was the process of starting?
Oh man. That was the thing, right? Because remember, we were trying to do something. So you think it's easy, right? Especially if you have a little bit of money. Like when people get $100,000 to their name, it's just like, oh, my money takes care of everything. Yes, just no, it don't. There's other things where you don't need influence. There's things where you don't need politics. So it's good to have a balanced approach. That's what guidance has been able to do. That's why you see the growth. It's because it's balanced. But in those days, in the beginning, I thought, oh, I'm gonna call a distillery. I'm gonna tell them what to do. I'm gonna pay them. They're gonna do it.
And it's done.
And it's done.
Yeah.
So imagine that. So what's your budget? I was thinking, $20,000 to $50,000 initially. And like, we don't do anything for less than $500,000. It's $500,000 pesos? Like, $500,000 what?
Wow.
And so, who are you? Are you a celebrity? Are you? What's your marketing strategy? Because what they're thinking is, yeah, we can make it, but why would we waste our time making it if you're not gonna sell it?
Yeah. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So that was that process started. That process began like a journey to actually find a distillery that would work with us, and we ended up finding a small one in Iowa. That the dude is an artisan. They do a lot of great stuff with spirits there, and I just told him like, look, we have not been having the best of time, and he was like, y'all work with me. And so he started sending us samples, and immediately we wanted to work on something. I wanted it to be smooth with no burn, because that's the stuff that we have been doing.
Yes, I could not articulate what is different.
That's what it is. You're going to get that hand. If you put an ice cube in it, it opens it up even more. So you have a universal, approachable whiskey. And it's 88% corn, 10% rye, 2% barley, and it's just a perfect blend for a nightcap. You can start your day with it. I wanted a functional whiskey. I wanted something that you can use to turn up if you want to, or turn down.
But it's not just what I love is just the whiskey brand, because you have multiple products that we have around here too.
Accessories.
Yeah, accessories. So from candles to coffee, which I'm a big advocate for coffee.
Yeah. All of that is artisan as well. If you look at the candles, those candles are actually made, they're JP scents, that's Miss Joyce Perry out of Atlanta. She's retired, and this is what she does. I don't want to say in her spare time. I guess if you retired, you can call your spare time. Whatever way, we trying to get to that life. But and then the coffee is a dairyman who also TSU grad, but third generation Haitian farmer. He went back and bought his family's land in Haiti, and that's where they produce the coffee. We're actually doing a series on it. And then with cigar, same thing, partnership. everything that we do outside of like maybe, well, even our shirts, like there's a local shirt maker here that works. So if you look at it, everything serves a different purpose of working with other minority or small or local.
That's huge. You have, I want to make sure to mention also the nonprofit.
Yeah.
You have a very different cause what you're doing, changing for the kids, providing access to water.
Oh yeah, hydrate the head. The cup that's behind you that. Yeah, it's a pH 9 generator. It actually alkalizes water out of the filter. And the effects of alkaline water on the body actually just balancing you out. Your body can fight off most anything on its own. But the problem is the muscles are hyped on sugar and salt, so it doesn't give your body a chance to function. So this just cleanses it. Alkaline water will cleanse your body out. The higher the pH, the better. Well, but you don't want to go too high. Extraction in the blood. What people start to see as a result is diabetes goes down, our blood pressure goes down. It'll clear up your skin. It's not actually the cup; it's your body doing the work. You're just helping it. So we figured this is something that we need in our communities heavily. But how do we? But then when you say pH and alkaline, there's not a lot of population that understands that. So how do you do it? What do you? So we sell the cups to people that get it and give it to the people that need it. So that we have a buy one get one. And then we've been able to get to schools. We did JC Napier Elementary, gave one to every teacher, every student, because during COVID, the COVID protocols said that they couldn't use water fountains. So what's your kid gonna drink all day?
Wow, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, once again, trying to fit a need and help. And once your body's balanced, then we come in and talk about nutrition and health, because now you can taste it. You know what I mean? You can eat hamburgers, fast food, whatever, every day, and I try to give you a salad, it won't even taste right in your mouth. So once we do that, then we can educate you on health and wellness, and it sticks. So.
I mean, you are truly, I would say, the Jason of all trades. I don't say Jack of all trades.
I like that.
Jason of all trades. So in your journey of life, I've asked everybody this. What advice would you give a younger you or a younger person?
Wow. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Sometimes we get so caught up in the thing. I think when you were talking about, like when I talk to business owners now, and I ask them what they're excited about, I remember it's fun to be able to tell you these things now, and I hope it inspires somebody else, but I wish that I would have enjoyed them while I was doing it, because these things were changing my life at the time when I didn't know it. I was focused on the work. Like, massage therapy was cool, but I was one of the hardest working massage therapists. I actually generated 6 figures at $60 to $80 a person in 1 year. And I remember looking at my bank account saying, like, yeah, I think I had like $101,000, but I had missed the whole year. Friends that got married that I didn't go to their weddings. People had birthdays that I didn't attend. People had so much fun at stuff that I didn't go to. And the thought process was, I'm gonna do what I'm doing now, and I'll be different than them. But you also will be without them. A lot of times we look at checking on people as for them, but a lot of times it's for you.
You have to enjoy it.
You get that? When you take yourself out of population, people don't get to see your light. So folks that could be inspired by you don't get it because you face down for so long. Now, of course, you got to do the work, but please don't think that. But I would tell myself and anybody coming behind me, actually enjoy it. Take your time and enjoy what you're doing, because you'll slow down a little bit. You'll start to have more conversations instead of trying to text or email. You'll actually get to know your vendors. You'll get to know the people that you're working with, and that'll increase the number one principle of entrepreneurship to me, which is relationship.
So,
Hey, you drink to that?
cheers, we gotta drink to that. That's all I had for you, sir.
Hey.
Unless you had anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, I had a question for you.
Oh!
Like, what? Most of the time when people ask, so they want to know what made you do something or what made you this and this and that. What I want to know is, what are you dreaming of next? Now that you got to this, right? What's the next? What's the thing that you don't even talk about a lot? Or maybe you only talk about it to 2 or 3 people. Like,
Oh, God.
what's that thing?
To be honest, it's actually this.
Yeah.
Because this whole experience, I probably in my life only told 2 people I ever wanted to have a show where I could interview and talk to people about various careers and talk about their journey, and then it kind of morphed into HBCU life. And so this is literally like my dream manifesting before my eyes.
Wow. So you're getting your dream manifested in your mid-30s, which means the purpose is big. Oh, purpose.
I had a mentor. He told me one time, and it keeps now happening. Interesting enough, he was like, if your list of what you want out of life, if you get it by 30, you're dreaming too small. And so at the time of 30, my goal was to have a house. Bought that at 26. I wanted my own car. I wanted to get an upper level degree. I got that at 24. So I bought my own car, my own house, everything by 26.
Shout out to
And I had done all of that by 28. And then it was like, okay, what now?
Yeah.
And then this was literally like, no one knew that this was something I really ever wanted. So when I got the phone call from Erica, it was like, it was almost like a confirmation that God listens to my prayers.
Right.
Because I don't talk about this dream. And in all of this, I want to make sure that the young person that looks like us knows they can do anything.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening now, yeah.
I think what you'll end up finding is that the grown-up person will watch this and know that they can be anything. Because the direct way to children is through the people that they see every day. So you'll go direct to the child, but if you never change the adult, then positive reinforcement will happen. That's why with those cups, we make sure we get them to the students and the teachers. We give them to the kids and the parents, so that it becomes cyclical. That's amazing.
So I try, as you talked about, like enjoying. So I've really framed my life now to start enjoying the moment. And so instead of so focused on what's next, I have to enjoy this right now.
Yeah.
And then we'll see where we'll have there.
Great. My work here is done. Yes.